So don't overeat, and I've been thinking, right? Because I feel like, you ever feel like you the only person that thinks the way you think, or holds particular viewpoints that go against the status quo? Like I hold, what people don't know about me is I hold a lot of viewpoints that go against the status quo. Some of them hold, a lot of them I'm learning or I'm folding. I don't say I hold these viewpoints, but at least I'm inquisitive and curious about these particular viewpoints that are opposite of the status quo. And baby, they would be like mind blowing. It's like, what the fuck? Like people would literally like cast me the fuck out or write me the fuck off just because, like, of the consciousness. Like, not that I'm at like just like a better. Yeah, I feel like I'm in some ways I'm at a different. I'm not saying higher level of consciousness, but definitely a different level of consciousness.
Keep left onto I-264 West.
Than a lot of people. And I feel like there's one particular person who probably would get it like I get it. Not everything, maybe not everything, but definitely at least I can have a conversation with them and not feel, I feel like they get at least some of the shit. Like, damn, at least 50% of the shit. Yeah, some of the shit we want different on, other shit, well, I haven't had those, conversations to see, what their viewpoints of those topics are, or share my particular viewpoint of these topics and get their feedback or input. But yeah, because I would just wonder why the world is the way it is. Like, why? Like, people are, I feel like, are caught or stuck rather in, this is wrong, this is bad, don't do this, you shouldn't do this is not of God, this is not right, this is not of righteousness, opposed to it exists, it's created, it's one creator. Why did the creator create that to exist? Like, we hold such a negative viewpoint and connotation and perspective on particular things, and it's like, if we hold that perspective with such disdain, why did the creator create that? Why did the creator allow these actions or behaviors or things to exist and come into this realm? So, manifesting
in a half-mile, take right exit 7 toward downtown Portsmouth using the right lane.
You feel me? It's like, why? Like, all right, so for instance, one particular taboo topic I'm gonna say up, and this is by all means with limited research, it's just really based off the information I have, and my interpretation and understanding of, like, my filter and things. So, all right, so, like, I have a certain knowledge and information, and this, I filter that knowledge through my body, through my mind, through the universe, through my perspective, through my lens, and this is the conclusion I've come up with for me. In my head, for instance, this is going to be crazy to people, I feel like,
keep right onto Bart Street.
Jesus. All right, so people also believe, like, the retarded as shit. They were like,
just ahead, keep left onto Bart Street using the left lane.
I mean, like, don't do the dumbest shit. Like, somebody lied to you, we just blatantly lie in your face, or shit don't make sense, but y'all go with it just because, like, that's the norm, or that's the shit to do. All right, so for example, like, when I'm gonna use the Cosby Show as an example, right? So, long story short, I think, like, Vanessa or one of the girls was making meatloaf, and she cut the ends off of the meatloaf. And somebody asked her, like, why did you cut the ends off the meatloaf? And she was like, well, because my mom did it. So they went to Claire. Well, hey, mom, it's a whole big thing, it's a family thing. Well, mom, why did you cut the ends off the meatloaf? Well, because my mom did it. They go to grandma. Why did you cut the ends off the meatloaf? She said, because it was too big to fit in the pan. Like, the fuck? You feel me? Like, now, that's what's some small shit, but motherfuckers just be blindly following shit, not knowing, you know what I'm saying, like, what the fuck is really going on, or without taking a chance to investigate for themselves, or just like, hey, if it fits in, like, why are we, like, questioning the fact, like, why are we cutting the ends off the meatloaf? Like, is it for aesthetic purposes? Like, or not even why am I particularly cutting the ends off of the meatloaf? You feel me? So it's like, why am I following this, X, Y, and Z set of rules, this trend? Why am I doing X, Y, and Z? Because a lot of perspectives I had. So one of the perspectives I had, I'm gonna come out the ballpark swinging with this one. It's kind of hard for me not to say that Jesus was gay, or at least open to the idea. Hold on, y'all got Uber Eats order. 1 second. Boop, boop. But, like, shit be blatant in your face, and motherfuckers be like, oh no. Okay. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna leave the camera rolling. I'll be right back. Okay, trying to put some better. Got it.
Message from Seth C. Turn right, then drop off on the right. Turn left, then turn right. Turn right, then turn left.
All right, my bad, y'all. But in my head, I at least, I'm not gonna say I believe this a whole 100%, but I at least entertain the idea, or I'm open to it being a thing. Hold on. How you doing?
The code's 4769.
Okay.
4769.
Got it. Thank you. You too. How far I get up now? So, start. Oh my God, oh, bitch, for real? Bad motherfucker. Alright, so help me make it make sense. So, for instance, like, I had a friend come over and she was like, yo, Jesus and them was turning up. I'm like, huh? Like, you know, they said Jesus, you know, he was perfect. He walked, you know, with no sin. And they said, you know, she said, well, what the fuck, what would you do if you got a homie and they could turn water into wine? Bitch, y'all drinking. Y'all getting the fuck drunk. And not to mention, in the Bible, they also say he hung out with the prostitutes, the thieves, and this, that, and the third. And yeah, and like was helping those kind of people, the homeless. He was helping them. You know, he was a servant. He also hung out with 13 other niggas. Bruh. Now, let's be real. Let's have some grown-up conversations. No time for the bullshit. If you put any group of individuals, males or females, and have them spend an exuberant amount of time around each other, what the fuck you think gonna happen? I'm confused. What is you think gonna happen? I'm the fuck confused. Yeah, it doesn't mean that it applies to everybody. However, he hung out with 13, not only was there 13 niggas, but they was his disciples. And then, I think, what was it, Peter, or I forget which particular disciple it was, you know, they say it's the one that Jesus loved. Well, I thought Jesus was to love everybody. What kind of love was this? Like, if Jesus loved everybody, why make it a point to point out that Jesus loved, you know, this particular individual? Now, again, I don't know each story in detail. These are all my takeaways, like highlights, if you will. So this is what I concluded based off of my highlight. Now, I've done a little bit of reading and study, but not, you know, excuse me, sorry, I had to focus. As much as people, you know, would say needs to be done in order to come to, you know, certain conclusions. Because what I'm doing, sorry, I was trying to find this BS. Alright, so yeah, so, and then like there are pictures of, like, you know, the disciples, and this particular disciple, I think it's Peter, I really think it's Peter, and he's leaning on Jesus' shoulder, bitch, and he's kind of feminine looking. But we'll say, but people will say, no, that's, you know, they argue their case down, like, no, that's not the case, it's not a thing. Oh my God, you're going to, all because of a few, I guess, sentences or places in the Bible where it's spoken of homosexuality. And where's the lie? See, I need people to use their elevated level of consciousness and thinking. I know one area, it says, men shall not lie with men as they do with women. Okay, and they don't. They don't. Men don't have the same sex with men the same way they do with women. One goes in the booty hole, one goes in the vagina, and the women have the option for, you know, to go in the booty hole as well. However, if a man wants to stick, you know, his dick in a particular hole other than the mouth, and a man, they're only going in the booty hole. So they're not lying together the same. They don't lay down together the same. And then it says homosexuality is an abomination. Where's the lie? See, it's not an abomination to the world and the world's end is doomed. It's an abomination to a particular era or age, if you will. Like, for instance, we're in the age of Aquarius. We're coming out of the age of Pisces. It's an abomination to that level of consciousness that ruled the world. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, because for as much as... And it's like, what did Jesus do to deserve to be crucified? Because the way people look and hold homosexuality, the way the homosexual sin is held to a higher, held on a pedestal and to a higher or deeper degree than any other sin is crazy. But that's in this day, in this time, in this era still. is it possible that that was, the particular act or reason Jesus was crucified? Because why the fuck was he crucified? Like, if it was bad, then motherfuckers committing suicide in this day and age because they didn't want to come out, or be classified or seen as homosexual or gay because they were so conflicted with, religious beliefs, or they would be ridiculed, scrutinized, picked on, and bullied by, other individuals. Some in their families, some out in public. Like, gay people really, that shit is that shit fucks you up psychologically. I remember me particularly, being the kid going to church, and I understood that I had these feelings or urges, and they said you was going to burn. I remember the preacher or this preacher, different family members. Basically, it was you going to burn in hell forever. Baby, I'm a highly intelligent, highly intuitive kid and person in general. You can't tell me how I feel, whether you know about it or not, or I can't get wind of a word of that how I feel innately is so bad to God that I'm gonna burn in hell forever. Fuck everything else. Fuck that I'm a good person. Fuck that I just want to see people do good and just promote love and positivity in the world. And I'm super sensitive in general. Because y'all think I'm gonna burn in hell forever? I fucking damn near died. I was not like, bitch, what? My brain at like 8 years old went into fucking overload, or maybe after like a little older, but went into fucking like beyond like super fucking overload, trying to process and analyze, figure out how the fuck I'm not gonna burn in hell forever. This bitch fire hot. I touched the iron when I was 3 years old and burnt the skin off, all the skin off my damn hand. Like, that shit hot, bitch. You didn't tell me I'm gonna burn in hell forever? Oh, fuck no. But no, fuck no. And it's kind of, I guess, hard, I don't say to argue, but there are a lot of people that believe that to the core. Like, yo, homosexuality wrong, it's a sin. Like, they feel it within them. However, I was asked one time by my sergeant in the military, he said, how do you know when, your thoughts or your perspective or feelings towards this particular subject are your own and not, some ideologies or extremely influenced by, family or society, past generations? How do you know when they're independent of the status quo of thinking? Like the status quo thought, like the group think, if you will. Like, how do you know when what you think and what you feel is, I don't say either right or wrong, or is right for you and for your life, even if it gets, whether it goes, whether it is goes against the status quo or whether it agrees with the status quo? How do you know that that's how you truly think, feel, and want to perceive and behave in the world? So again, my brain went so overload. It was like, how do you know that? Like, how do you really know that? Well, I mean, the first way you get to know that is to know yourself, and more importantly, to keep an open mind to everything and every perspective and every viewpoint. If you can't do that, then you can't objectively look at something and see whether it's for you or not. You feel me? It's like, how do you know? How do you know? So how do you know whether, like I said, like whether something's for you or against you? When something's for you and you want to, live your life in accordance with that. So for me, it's how my body responds to it. You have to be connected to yourself. You have to get to know yourself. You have to spend time with yourself. You have to build a relationship with yourself and with God. Now, I say your personal God. I'm going to use your personal God, and you're Christians. Oh my God, here we go. Bro, like, think outside the box. Like, I say your personal God because if God put a piece of him inside of us, well, then wouldn't I have my own personal God? You feel me? That's supposed to guide me and show me the way. Now, also, there are people who firmly believe that homosexuality is wrong, you will burn in hell forever, blah, 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 blah. Now, there's certain people who believe that, but however, they can still not ostracize, criticize, or judge you for, your actions and behaviors, and they can, just live their life. Cool, we can be cool. Hey, I don't agree with that lifestyle. I don't agree with you. However, that doesn't mean we can't be friends. That doesn't mean we can't get along. But there are others who are still strongly, agree that, you're going to burn in hell and all that cool shit, that they will ridicule you, ostracize you, pick on you, tease you, laugh at you, and more importantly, they will try to tell you how you're supposed to live and tell you that what you're doing is wrong. First of all, mind your fucking business. Because half the time, most of y'all motherfuckers still broke as fuck. So let's start there. And just throw this in, just to show you how, again, you an example of how broad I like to think, or what I'm allowing my mind to be open to. I'm open to the possibility that God might be a female, or at least the entity or energy that created God is a female. Like, she may give him dominion over, and power over this world. Like, everything might be true that the Bible says. God says, let there be light. God, took 7 days, all that cool shit. But what gave birth to God? You feel me? What gave birth to God? Mother Nature. So you got God, the end all be all, and then you got Mother Nature. It don't get more godly than fucking what's natural. What's motherfucking nature? Okay? However, saying hi to my house. I can't show y'all, but it's over there. So I said all that to say, I'm open to those possibilities. So back to what I was saying about Jesus and all that cool shit, and homosexuality. So my brain went into overload with all that shit, right? So I had to learn, God isolated me, and I had to learn to pay attention to my body, pay attention to how I feel when confronted with anything, with someone who agrees, with homosexuality, or someone who disagrees with it. I had to come to terms with who I am, what I am, my perspective. And the biggest thing for me, the biggest way I have concluded, how I concluded and feel how I feel, and the perspective I have, is because I have peace in my heart. See, so because, again, my brain went to overload. They say you're going to die and burn in hell forever, right? So then I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not going to be gay. Fuck it. I rebuke it. I'm denying it, right? Fuck it. I'm denying it. I rebuke it. It's not going to happen. Now, meanwhile, in the background, I fantasize, I be masturbate, all types of shit, fantasize about the shit. However, I'm never going to act on it because, oh my God, that's gay, right? But then the pressure got so fucking much on my chest, right? Like, everywhere, and I have racing thoughts, right? So everywhere I went, everywhere I go, I have to be confronted with this, because there's not a place that I have ever been, whether it was school, no matter what school, boot camp, that somebody hasn't asked me, are you gay? All right? Guess I just give off the vibe. They can see it. Like, they can, but you see, but that's how fucked up the world is. Like, this shit be obvious and blatant as fuck, but we'll be in such denial that we ignore what's right in front of us. So it's like, well, but that was the universe and God trying to show me, like, yo, bro, like, hey, you can't hide this shit. I don't know how much in denial you are, bitch. You can't hide this shit. But I felt so embarrassed and so ashamed and so everything, and like all of that shit is like, one, at certain ages, and you feel different things at different ages. Because at some, at a younger age, it's like, shit, I don't want to be picked on, teased, laughed at, bullied, all that cool shit. Mind you, still. This the funny shit. Mind you, I used to jump double dutch. I'm not to playing Barbies, like, well, I would play Barbies for real. Not to playing Barbies. I was really fighting with them. Not to playing Barbies makes you gay, or anything to make you gay. Like the same sex attraction makes you gay. However, there are certain actions, behaviors, and mannerisms that correlate with I would say being gay. Like, not all gay people act like this, or not all gay people have these actions, behaviors, and mannerisms, but enough of them do that when you see someone act that way or be that way, you almost 9 times can conclude that they're gay, and 9 times usually are. However, but that's how much denial I was in. It's like, bitch, you're outside jumping rope, right? But I was living me. I was doing me. Cool. I was okay with being me. I was still, afraid, what people, I still didn't admit that part. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna be gay, but I'm jumping rope. I'm not, but I'm like, hey, no, but you outside jumping rope, bitch. Like, the fuck? And then, like, to hear my voice, I was so embarrassed to be me, it's not even funny. Like, to hear my voice, like, on video camera and recording, especially at family events, yo, that shit would drive me up a wall. Because And then then it adds an extra layer because you internalize things. At least I did, extremely deep, because where people just might be laughing at general because it's funny, it's that extra stank on it or the extra disdain on it for my interpretation of it because, oh, you're laughing at me because I'm gay? Or you're laughing at me because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that extra shit. So it's like, I remember being at a family picnic and recorded, like, and then on top of that, like, I can't, like, some niggas is switch. They can turn, you know, feminine behaviors on and off. I can't. I don't even see it. Like, it's so bad that when motherfuckers come up to me like, yo, I didn't even know you was gay. Or, I didn't see that in you. They be like, what the fuck? It be blowing my mind. Or I was used to be like that, such and now, like, what? That nigga gay? Like, I was like, oh shit, like, I can see the behavior. I see, like, they didn't give that to me at first. But for me, it was like, I can't, being in me, I can't see it. But like, to see me recorded, to see me, you know, recorded, like, on video, I can see the actions, I can see the behaviors, I can see the mannerisms. And that shit drove me up a fucking wall. I'd be embarrassed. I hated looking at myself on video. I was like, ooh, I cringe at the femininity that's inside of me. It was like, ooh, like I hated that shit. But I'm learning to, love and accept myself for being me. But back to what I was saying. So you internalize these things. And at different ages, you internalize different shit. So early on, it's like, I don't be picked on or bullied or laughed at, you know what I'm saying? And then I hated my name because it's just like real easy. Corday, hey. I'm like, really, yo? So then, at the other ages, it's like, well, you don't want to lose certain friends, behind it. It's like, damn, like, is my homie still gonna be my homies? Like, all right, like, I done thugged it out. Shit, yeah, I jump rope, but yeah, I could throw in the boxing gloves too. Yeah, I did this shit. I would go to the basketball court with my homies. I was ass, and I'm still ass. The only thing, honestly, I like about basketball is shooting. Other than that, it's like, what the fuck? Because that's my eye-hand coordination sucks in that area. But football would have been my shit. But early on, I was, just a little afraid to get hit hard. Like, bitch, I don't want to get hit that hard. But, like, I'd have been a wide receiver, too. Like, football would have been my shit. Like, tapping into that energy, like, somebody, like, boom. I could do that. That's me. But I also like track and field. I like boxing. For some reason, I like contact sports. But then ball shit's like, oh, that shit messed me with that shit. But so then you get over there. But then it's like, at this age as an adult, it's like, shit. Then I had a kid. I'm like, fuck. So for me, for a long time, I didn't even want to fuck females because I'm like, damn, you don't do that to females. I feel like, no matter to female. Like, you don't, like, not that I understand DL niggas and I get it. So I have no beef with them or gripe with them because the world is a fucked up place and it's just a slippery slope and a fucked up, situation to be in that I have to choose from. But when you tell certain females that you gay, they're not giving you a fucking time of day. They're not giving you a chance. And if you truly a bonding, you still like females, or you still want to marry and be with a female, but you still have these urges and would like to satisfy these urges until you find the one that you want to be with. But you gonna eliminate. But honestly, but this is what you should do. I mean, I get it because then there's a lot of shame and guilt come along with it. A lot of niggas like get involved or mess around, then they bust their nut, and it's like you feel guilty, you feel shamed, you feel embarrassed. Get the fuck away from me. You know what I'm saying? Until you horny again a couple months later, a couple days, however it works. So it's just real weird. It's very. I feel like it's more complex than it has to be because, God created everybody. Just like, what the fuck is wrong? So the fuck what? I don't care where you sticking your dick. I don't care what you doing. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Unless you try to fuck me. Or we fucking around, and even then it's still none of my business. It's my job and my duty to protect myself at all times to the measures and degrees to which I choose to. So it's like, oh shit, I know we fucking raw, but you are. It's none of my business what you fucking. We're not together. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. If that's a concern for me, we'll put a fucking condom on. Get on, some kind of like, preventative measures. Get on PrEP, get on some shit. But who people is fucking is none of your business. Like, I want to be so secure in myself that I'm unbothered. I want to be like a black Buddhist monk. Like, I want to be unbothered. I still want to live my life and maybe not necessarily give up some of the things that they give up, long term of my life, but definitely be unbothered or unmoved by shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Unless you're trying to now. If you, like, why are you worried about where I'm sticking my dick or who I'm fucking? Especially if, why? And that's another thing that blew my mind with, like, straight niggas. It's like, why are you asking questions? Now, my thing is, if it's a mental thing, and it's turned on. So for instance, if you were niggas is niggas, whether niggas like sex, niggas like to hear stories about sex, that part. So for me, it's like, hey, tell me the stories. I'm gonna go home and masturbate about this shit later. By all means, share that with me. Hey, you got video? Please. I'm gonna go have a ball in my head about this shit later. You feel me? But if you're not in that lane trying to tap that lane, why are you worried about that shit? You feel me? And people are so concerned. Are you gonna go to hell? You gonna, bitch? You ain't gonna burn with me. You came out your mother's vagina by your goddamn self. Even if you's a twin or beyond, y'all came out one at a time. You gonna die by yourself. If I go to hell, that don't got shit to do with you. Why you worried about that shit? Let me go to hell, and you go to heaven. However, hell and heaven is on this earth. See, it says God created heaven and earth. It didn't say God created heaven and hell. And we think that heaven is above or, hell is below. No. It's all in perspective. It's all in our mind. Heaven and hell both exist on this earth. How do I know? And they say you sold your soul for riches. Yeah, I sold my soul to the devil at one point. And that was, and some people are not going to get it. Oh my God, I sold the soul to the devil for my, no. That was me living a lie. That was me choosing not to live in my truth. That was selling my soul. So now, if you believe in, I guess, a life before here, well, that was my contract. To sell my soul like that. So that way I can find myself again. So when y'all say all these rich people are celebrities, they sold their soul. Yeah. The devil worked for God. If there's one fucking creator, the devil don't do shit that God didn't approve of. Like fucking nothing. Like y'all give the devil way too much fucking power on this bitch. Like way too much power. Remember how energy works. Energy grows where energy goes. If you put thought and energy into something, it's going to expand. Energy is not good or bad. Energy just is. It is our intentions with that energy that determine the outcome. You feel me? So I don't put energy into thinking demonic shit or thinking about devil shit. No matter what the perspective at large is, if I don't believe it for myself at my core, well, then that shit not gonna affect me. So to continue, I was living a lie. So right, I lied about it for years, and I did some things I was supposed to. Like I didn't want to have sex with females, but I had to keep it a lie because I'm like, well, you get a female that choice. You feel me? Because I was embarrassed to be me. So I could only imagine, for you, especially for a female that's really not with that shit, really don't fuck with niggas that like niggas and shit like that, really don't want to be bothered with that shit. But then that's embarrassing for them. That's a hard pill to swallow. So I feel like you don't put people in those situations. So for anybody that I did, please forgive me. I'm human. I was trying to keep up with the facade, trying to keep up with the lie, right? Even though I on the sex, I had some good females. Sex is the shit. However, I living in my truth, I've also met some females that's with that freak shit. Like, oh shit. If only I would have told the truth a long time ago. Motherfucker. Your freak match my freak. Holy fucking shit. Meaning that, like, yo, I one female tell me, like, yo, like, when I get super horny, I watch gay porn, like, guy gay porn, like, oh, we can't buy sex. Why not? Why the fuck? Why? Oh my God. It was like, wait, what? Cause I think I said at this day and age, I definitely, and I didn't start messing around with niggas till later on in life, but I definitely messed around with a lot of more niggas than a later on bitches, not a females. However, that's another topic for another day. That's not what I'm talking about. But what's your phone, bro? But the sex that I did have with these people, ooh, baby. And just put them out there, baby. I upgraded my skill set. Thought I was bad back in the day. Whew, baby, I upgraded this motherfucking skill set. But yeah, so I don't believe in doing that to people. You get them that choice. Hey, this is me. This is my truth. Do you accept it? You know what I'm saying? Do you accept me? Are you down with it? Because, some people are not with it, and you get them that choice to bow out and say no. So for those I did not get a chance to do that too, please forgive me, and I'm sorry. Again, so I sold my soul. I lived a lie. I tried it the way that the status quo is. That people say you should live. I tried to suppress those feelings and but them urges. Again, the more energy you put into something, the more it grows. The more you stuff something down, the more it's going to compile up and it's going to expand until it explodes. And my chest felt like it was about to fucking explode. Like, the pressure on my chest. I had racing thoughts, because I got to keep up with the lie. Like, oh shit. Like, and I didn't mess around with niggas while I dealt with females. And then once I started dealing with niggas, any female that I did deal with, I get in his end. Because I didn't want to live that double life. I wasn't gonna fuck with niggas. Cause just in case you didn't want that, and I'm saying that if I mess with niggas after the fact, all right, I feel like I could eat that. But to mess with niggas while I was messing with you, knowing that you might not really like that shit, no, I couldn't do that shit. So I didn't. But again, all the way around, I'm still choosing. My actions and behaviors are still influenced by, the popular opinion or what other people will think, versus what how I personally would choose to live my life. So it wasn't until I actually started living my truth over time, slowly but surely, and it felt real weird and eerie. It really does to tell people to, like, to come out or to just start living and operating my truth, because now I can feel again. I can feel the energy in my body. Like, my heart was so hard and so cold. Like, I couldn't feel shit. Like, I had to get high to feel shit. I did more spiritual work high than I have ever done in my life. Like, more talking to God. Them E-pills, baby, that motherfucker. The hour after, my little sex capade or whatever, on my come downs, like, still lit. But that's when I would talk to God, tap into God, read the Bible, study, meditate, like, fast for 3 days. That's when I would do all these spiritual things. Like, I was out there in search of, listen, God, you got to come get me. I found something online, and she said, sit yourself in a chair, sit a chair on the other side of you, and talk to your higher power. Say, I haven't met you. I need to meet you. I haven't met you yet. I did that. And the more I started doing these things, the more I started to accept myself. It was hard. It was hard. But one day, my chest bust. Long story short, I was going through one of my friends, and we saw each other, and we hugged. And we held each other so tight. Like, that shit, my chest exploded. Like, it's something weird. Like, in my brain, because we crying, and I can feel it. Like, but my brain, you ever see, like, a nuclear explosion? Like, that's what, visually, I saw my chest do. Like, I felt it, but I also saw it in my brain. Like, boom! It exploded so hard with a burst of energy that my knees buckled. Like, I dropped to my knees, crying, like, because I was just so happy living my truth. And it's moments like that. But I also remember the day my soul left my body. See, I sold my soul. And they say you gave it to the devil. Well, that just means your soul leaves your body, and you are now operating, the easiest way I can say it is in your lower chakras. Or how can I say it? You are operating, I would say, out of your ego, or out of a place that's not true to you, I should say. That's not divine to your nature. So your soul leaves when you don't live your truth. Every time you deny yourself your truth, and how do you know you're living in your truth? After you make a decision to do something or have done something, are you left with peace in your heart? If this leaves you with turmoil, shame, guilt, any of those things, then that wasn't divinely attached to you. That decision wasn't true to you at your core. And this is how I'm paying attention to my body. It's like, oh shit, I was living a lie. My chest was tight. I had racing thoughts, because you gotta keep with the lie. Boom. Half the brain was focused on, like, just living life, everything. But the other half of the brain is like, how do we lie? How do we lie? Still trying to process the can't, like, filtering all this information. Like, I can't burn in hell forever. But it wasn't until the moment I told the truth that I felt relief. It felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulder. Like, I got high as a giraffe's ass. I got a bag of some shit. And I don't mind being, truthful and keeping the buck, but, just for, I don't know for what. I guess I don't know. Because you never know how something can bite you in the ass. So until I give further thought to it, just be mindful and move with tact. However, I hired the dress ass and went around to my daughter's mom's house and told her about my sexuality. And one of my biggest fears, I don't know if I expressed that to her, I think I probably did, is that my daughter would be embarrassed of me or ashamed of me and not want to be around me because, like, she's getting picked on or teased in or laughed at like I did. And that shit scared me to my core. But I was willing to say, hey, if this is my truth and she doesn't want me involved in her life because she's too embarrassed, then I was going to eat that. And I was going to accept it. And I was going to move on. But lo and behold, I was welcomed with open arms. She was like, oh. So she had questions. Like, I figured it, blah, blah, but she had questions and was like, damn, like, you feel. And she just told me who I was. Like, when I said that girl smart as shit, whew, she's smart as shit. But even when dealing with her, I still wasn't dealing with niggas. Like, rumors got back to her, word got back to her that I was gay or might be gay or bi or whatever the case may be. And she confronted me with it. I'm like, no. But one, I was trying to still figure that out at the time, but at the same time, I had never messed around.